Now, before I begin talking heavily about Hot Shots Golf 3, it's important to go back to see where this game last started off as opposed to where it came in the next installment. Here we literally have the PlayStation 1 version of Hot Shots Golf 2. It's not bad, but it still looks grainy and very much that, PlayStation 1 aesthetic, crappy, shitty, 3D, gritty look to it. And then, boom, Hot Shots Golf 3 completely blew me away. The amount of graphics on this fucking game were insane. I loved it from the start, and it's hard to even believe that it's from the same franchise when you went from this to this. It's almost unreal of what they were able to achieve and able to do within 2 years. Obviously, the PlayStation 2 was much more powerful than the PlayStation 1, but still, when you look at the early PlayStation 2 games and the PlayStation 1 games, yeah, there's a noticeable difference, but there was never, in my opinion, that big of a jump, that big of a leap where it just seemed like everything was revamped, and when you went from Hot Shots Golf 2 to Hot Shots Golf 3. One of the first things you're probably going to notice is the actual menu is completely different. Everything's still there, but everything's kind of laid out a little bit nicer, a little bit neater, and everything is just interactive. Like, everything feels alive. Whatever your cursor is on, it's doing some type of animation. Not only that, you have character animation standing on the side doing whatever it does. This one's tending to pet her hair every once in a while. Or if you have another character on the side, they'll just be, maybe talking on their cell phone, something like that. So, and that's another thing. The characters in this game were way different than the second one was. The characters in the second game were, I like the characters in the second game. The only recurring character, I believe, is Spike, as far as playable characters. Mel, he is only resorted down to a caddy. So I was kind of disappointed to find out that you couldn't actually play as Mel in this game. And I just, it took something away from it, because I guess I invested a lot in the Hot Shots Golf 2. But then again, this game was extremely new. It had come out 2 years after, I want to say literally 2 years after the Hot Shots Golf 2 came out. This one came out for the PS2. Like I said, the graphics of this game were insane. And as far as how the game plays the exact same way as Hot Shots Golf 2, but everything is just ramped up. Like, when your ball lands, or it looks like it lands in the rough, it's actually in the rough this time, not necessarily, which means they got all the painting right. Like, the painting and the lines are right, spot on, like what you physically see in the game. Like, if you see your ball in the rough or on the fringe of the rough, it actually calls it as such, like it's in the rough, or it's on the green, or it's on the fairway. Hot Shots Golf 2 had a kind of graphical issues with that, where your ball would look like it's painted on the green, but it would still say it's on the fringe, or it would paint it like it was not in the fairway when it really was. With the PS2, they were able to get a lot more detailed, so that way that wouldn't happen anymore, and they fixed a lot of previous mistakes that they made in Hot Shots Golf 2. Something else really interesting that caught my attention when I first got this game was the fact that you could actually enter in an online tournament, or as they called them, national tournament back then. You'd have to sign up through Hot Shots Golf 3 website, and then you'd get a code that you then enter in a national tournaments thing that's built into the game. But the game itself had zero internet connectivity, which is kind of ill-timed, because 2002 was the year PlayStation actually launched the broadband connector, or should I say the add-on connector that can dial you up into the internet or whatnot. So we always found it strange that they left out the internet connectivity and did something that they used to do in Hot Shots Golf 2 and a few other things used to, because the systems had no way to connect to the internet. As you would get a code, enter the code in said website, and then you could just kind of compete against people that are, got similar codes, similar scores. That way they really couldn't tell, like, if you were cheating or whatnot. But I always found it strange that they didn't think ahead for the PlayStation 2 port of this one to add an online connectivity mode, so that way they wouldn't actually have to do the old school, you have to use a computer to go to this website, enter it in this tournament, and then look at it that way. I always just found that a little bit odd and just kind of bad timing, and this could have been one of the first ones that connect to the internet, even if it just did nothing but just show your score throughout, and just bragging rights, really. But if they were to do that in-game, I think it would have been much better. In closing, Hot Shots Golf 3 was an amazing game, I thought. I thought it was one of the better titles on there. I liked the character selection a little bit better than I did Hot Shots Golf 4. But I think most people would agree that Hot Shots Golf 4 was the franchise or the face for Hot Shots Golf. Because even while searching for Hot Shots Golf 3, you find a lot of posts that, for some reason, like to bring it to Hot Shots Golf 4. So in my opinion, this game is good, but Hot Shots Golf 4 really blew this one out of the water at the end of the day. Thank you so very much for watching, and goodbye!